What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel, and I have just seen Manchester United lose 2-1 to Brighton at the Amex in what was a cagey game. I felt like both teams were trying to feel each other out in the first half, and overall I do feel like as if it should have been a draw, simply because both teams did create a couple chances but not very clear-cut chances. I feel like overall, I do feel like as if a draw would have been a much fairer result, but Brighton did grab the winner in the 95th minute, which was very poor defensively from Manchester United to be conceding from a corner in the 95th minute so late on in the game. Was very disappointing to see. However, the game kicked off, and Man United and Brighton, both teams were pressing each other high, and a couple opportunities did come about in the first half for both sides. 11 minutes gone, and Dalot breaks free down the left side and swings in a great cross for Ahmad, who unfortunately scuffs his shot wide. I think personally that should have been 1-0, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. Ahmad then swings in a free kick and Casemiro heads over. It was a free header as well. Casemiro probably should have scored that as well. And then a couple minutes later, Dalot tries curling one from outside the box, and it just goes over the bar. And Man United failed to make anything from that corner. A couple minutes later, Manchester United do have a 3v2 on the break, and Ahmad delays his pass. Unfortunately, I think it's behind Rashford. It's very unfortunate because Man United were on the break in a 3v2. This is at 0-0. And really, Man United, I think, throughout the game were very poor in the final third. Man United did start with the same starting lineup against Fulham. You had Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount playing as two false nines. I don't think that's necessarily working out too well, but I don't know why Ten Hag is persisting with it. Mount eventually did come off for Xerxes at the start of the second half, but in terms of the first half, Brighton did grab the opening goal in the 32nd minute through Danny Welbeck, and I did predict Danny Welbeck to score. When I was making my fantasy Premier League team, I was thinking about putting Danny Welbeck in, and I probably should have put him in because he's grabbed 2 goals and assists in the 2 goals and an assist in the opening 2 games of the Premier League season, and he grabs his goal after some really good wide play from Brighton. It was a really good ball in by Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro picks it up from the right-hand side. He swings in across from the right-hand side. It goes all the way across. Maguire lets it go for some reason. I don't know why Maguire's letting it go. Maguire needs to be controlling that or just booting it clear, because it goes right past him and it ends up on Mazraoui's side. It ends up on the right side of Manchester United's defence, and it reaches Matoma, who are for Brighton's left, but Manchester United's right. Matoma then puts it back with a low cross right across the box, and Welbeck is there to put it into the back of the net. Open goal, because Onana is covering the near post, and Welbeck is at the far post, and he puts it into the open goal. To be honest, Harry Maguire needs to be dealing better with that. He allows the goal, like I said, he allows the ball to go past him from the left side, and then he allows the ball to go past him on the right side. So he has 2 opportunities to actually clear the ball, but he doesn't, and in my opinion, it's really, really poor from him. Personally, like I was mentioning in my previous videos, I don't think he's good enough to be playing for Manchester United. I don't think he should be starting. But he started this game, and I don't think Harry Maguire had a particularly good game in my opinion. A minute later, Rashford scores from a cross, but he's actually in an offside position, and he puts the ball in the back of the net. I forgot who crosses in the ball. I think it might have been Bruno Fernandes. I forgot who crossed in the ball, but Rashford puts into the back of the net, but he's unfortunately in an offside position, and that's quite frustrating. You shouldn't really be in an offside position from where you can see the line. Rashford can see right across the line, and he really shouldn't be in an offside position. I think on the transition, Manchester United were poor in the first half. Not enough line breaking passes, too slow in possession, and whenever Man United won the ball in a turnover, I think Casemiro and Maino were winning the ball, where Brighton were pressing high and trying to play through United. When they did win the ball back, I do feel like Manchester United were too slow in the transition. They need to be playing the ball forward more quickly, especially with the pace you've got with regards to Marcus Rashford and Amad Diallo. You really need to be playing the ball quicker. Anyway, the first half ends and not really much happens apart from that. And 52 minutes in the second half, Man United try pressing Brighton high. The Brighton play out of it really well, and Milner is actually through on goal, who stabs it past Onana. It's not a great shot, and Dalot is there, and he clears it off the line. Brighton played through Manchester United very easily in that sequence of play. Very poor for Manchester United. Minte then swings in a cross, and Welbeck heads straight into the hands of Onana. That's a very good chance for Brighton. This is 55 minutes, and to be quite honest, that should have been 2-0. Brighton also have another opportunity a couple minutes later. Welbeck hits the bar after Minte's free kick, and that should have been 2-0 Brighton as well, and possibly maybe even 3-0 if Welbeck doesn't head into the hands of Onana a couple minutes earlier. So Man United defending very, very poorly in my opinion. They need to be defending better than that. If I look at the stats, Brighton had 5 shots on target and they scored 2 goals throughout the game. And they had 14 shots in total. Man United had 11 shots in total, 4 on target. It was a pretty even game with regards to stats, but Brighton did have a larger expected goals. Brighton had an XG of 2.12, while Man United had an XG of 1.41. Like I said, Manchester United going forward weren't particularly great. Like I said before, they were very slow on the transition. They need to be playing the ball more quickly. And then Man United do equalise in the 60th minute, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check. Yeah, 60th minute, Manchester United equalise after Amad Diallo breaking free down the right side. He beats the offside trap. I think it's Van Hecke who plays him on. And Van Hecke is trying to play offside, but Van Hecke plays him on. And it's a very good move by Manchester United. And Amad Diallo is through on the right side. He cuts in on his left foot. He shoots and it deflects off Van Hecke. But because the shot is on target, Amad Diallo gets the goal. Garnacho then comes on for Rashford. Rashford again was poor. He didn't really offer too much going forward. He was caught in an offside position a couple of times, and he didn't really drive at his fullback Veltman. And I just felt like Rashford was a little bit missing this game. Same with regards to Mason Mount as well. I don't think Mason Mount had a particularly good game. The pressing Man United in the first half with regards to Mount and Diallo was okay. So Bruno Fernandes, Mount and Diallo pressing in the first half was okay, but like I said, Mount really didn't offer too much in my opinion in terms of going forward in the first half, and he was rightfully removed. I didn't want him to start. I wanted Joshua Zirkzee to start. But what's interesting is in the 70th minute, Garnacho actually slots home after a very, very beautiful counter-attacking move built up by Manchester United. Brighton try pressing Manchester United high, but Man United play through the press, and Garnacho slots home after a cross. I think it's from Diallo again. Diallo plays it right across goal and Garnacho slots home, but unfortunately it hits Joshua Zirkzee on the knee. Joshua Zirkzee attempts to slot home the initial cross from Amad Diallo. Unfortunately, Joshua Zirkzee misses, and he's sliding across it, and his momentum takes him into an offside position, and Garnacho then slots home from the open net, but it hits Joshua Zirkzee's knee, and Zirkzee is in an offside position right in front of the net, right in front of the goal, and it comes off Joshua Zirkzee's knee, and Garnacho wheels off in celebration, thinking he scored a goal, but Zirkzee knows he's in an offside position, and it was a brilliant move by Manchester United. Very good build-up play, very good passing, and a very good cross from the right side. I forgot who it was. I'm pretty sure it was Diallo. But Garnacho slots home. Unfortunately, hits Joshua Zirkzee on the knee. If Zirkzee doesn't get contact with the ball, Garnacho has a goal, and it's 2-1 for Manchester United in the 70th minute, and it's a completely different game. Brighton are going to have to come onto Manchester United to grab an equaliser. But unfortunately it wasn't to be. It hits Joshua Zirkzee's knee. And Man United made a couple of substitutions. They bring on De Ligt and McTominay for Bruno and Maguire. and not really much happened with regards to the substitutions. McTominay was tidy on the ball. He was okay. He comes on for Bruno to play in a number 10 position. Some of his passing was alright, but he wasn't on the pitch to kind of influence the game for he wasn't on the pitch for long enough to influence the game, if you know what I mean. Bruno Fernandes, again, he was on the pitch for about 78 minutes, sorry, and I think Bruno Fernandes was a little bit quieter as well. Bruno, Rashford, Mount, I think were quiet. They didn't really offer too much. Diallo was lively, but he was getting caught out in offside positions too often. Xerxes came on and he was quiet as well. Garnacho was lively when he came on. I thought he looked good. I think maybe possibly Garnacho should be starting ahead of Rashford. I'm not sure, because Rashford hasn't really offered too much these opening two games. I'm quite disappointed with him, to be quite honest with you. And 80 minutes gone, and Ahmad again is caught in an offside position. So poor from him when he can see right across the line. He really shouldn't be in an offside position. If he stays onside, he's literally through on goal, because Brighton are playing a high line. Like I mentioned in my preview, the way that you beat Brighton is you put balls in behind and you get runners in behind, and Brighton are trying to play a high line. They're trying to play offside, but unfortunately Ahmad is in an offside position. And unfortunately, Manchester United do concede the winner in the 95th minute. A corner swings in, and Manchester United failed to get it clear. And Brighton play it back into the box from the right side through Joao Pedro. Sorry, someone, I forgot who swings in the cross, but a cross comes in from the left side, and Joao Pedro is there at the back post to head it in. The left side of Manchester United's defence is completely gone, nowhere to be seen. I don't know where they are. I don't know where Dalot is. I don't know where Martinez is. The defence is kind of just all over the place. There's like 6 players trying to press the guy who's crossing in the ball. Like I said, I forgot who crossed in the ball, but you know, you can't be having like 5-6 players trying to block a cross from the right side. You need to kind of get back into your defensive shape, get back into your lines. And unfortunately, Manchester United, 95th minute gone, just, you know what, see out for a draw. And unfortunately for Man United, Joao Pedro heads it into the back of the net. Left side of the defense, nowhere to be seen, and it's just disappointing, you know, to be conceding a goal like that in the 95th minute. Very disappointing. Very annoying as well. How can you leave that much space from a corner and not defend properly so late on in the game? And what was interesting to see is that both sides were going for the win. Let's say like for the last 15 minutes of the game. So both sides were trying to grab the winner, and unfortunately for Manchester United, Brighton do grab the winner. And overall, I think on the game, the decision making in the final third was very poor in my opinion. Too many times getting caught offside, caught out offside. I mean, if you stay onside, Marcus Rashford stays onside, Amad Diallo stays onside, and Man United have a couple more opportunities to create good chances. Overall, though, the 2 goals that Manchester United conceded were very poor defensively. I'm not impressed with the goals that Manchester United gave up. Very poor defensively. In terms of the final third, like I said, the passing was poor. I think Man United lacked some cutting edge, some line breaking passes. Too often than not, like I mentioned before, Man United would win the ball through Mainu and Casemiro, especially in the first half, but they failed to capitalise on that by making plays fast on the transition, because Brighton are out of position defensively because they're pressing high and they've got a high line. You need to be playing quickly out of defence and line breaking through balls, which I just didn't see enough, unfortunately. Like I mentioned before, I'm not really impressed with Rashford, Mount and Bruno. I do think Amad Diallo had a decent game. Anthony came on. I don't know why Anthony came on, to be honest with you. I don't know how he's a footballer. I think he should get released. But yeah, unfortunately, overall, very poor defensively from Manchester United to be giving up 2 goals that easily against Brighton. And I'm fearing it's going to be like last season again. Manuel Ugarte, who Manchester United are being linked with continuously this transfer window, isn't going to magically save Manchester United and make them into a top 4 side, or he's not going to make them win the league. Like I said, like I mentioned in my previous videos, I really don't think Manchester United are going to win the league. I just don't think they're good enough. I don't think they're going to get top four either. I think the highest position that Manchester United are going to finish the season is sixth, simply due to the lack of depth that Manchester United have in midfield, and because you've only got Casemiro, Mainu, McTominay, and Eriksen. And it wouldn't have been too bad to see Eriksen come on, possibly for Mainu, because Casemiro defensively is a little bit more better than Mainu, so it wouldn't have been too bad to see Eriksen come on instead of maybe Anthony. But that's the only kind of substitution that I can think of whereby Manchester United could have something could have been made out of the game, like they could have salvaged a point or something, or they could have scored the winning goal. But like I said before, if you want to be winning the league, which Manchester United aren't, and if you want to be getting into the top four, you have to be beating teams like Brighton away from home. And unfortunately, this time around, Manchester United couldn't get the win. Very disappointing. But next game, Manchester United are up against Liverpool at Old Trafford, which is going to be another difficult game. And that's it from me. Very disappointing today. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.